Like many of you, I started my life behind bars with nothing but the desire to escape baby prison. For context, I'm the youngest in a family of 3. Not only that, the age gap between me and the other 2 is big. Not too big, but not small either. I consider 6 years between me and the middle child to be a big difference. It's what divides us generation-wise. What does all this mean? It means that the state-of-the-art prison that I had to live in was actually a hand-me-down. A pretty old hand-me-down. It also means that the wardens had experienced 2 other inmates before me. Now, if you're not like Uncle Joey from Back to the Future, you know, the guy that loved to be behind bars so much as a baby that he ended up in prison as an adult, then you too would have wanted out of there. And I wanted out desperately. It's a very human desire to want freedom. It's why certain countries won't punish you for trying to escape prison, as long as you don't break any laws along the way. Because they understand that fundamental human need to be free. Before we get to the genius strategy that landed me out of this thing, I'm going to tell you what the inmates before me did when they wanted to get out. The first prisoner to land in this place used a very simple strategy. Just scream like there's no tomorrow, throwing her pacifier on whatever else she had on hand around the room to get the warden's attention. You know what else she threw? A tantrum. She'd cry for freedom and it would come as eventually someone would show up to get her out of the crib. Success! It's not a bad strategy, but a bit too loud for my taste. What's the point of escaping if everyone knows you did it? No. You have to do it quietly. And Prisoner 002 must have thought so too, because her strategy was definitely sneakier. We all have this plushie or blanket or even pillow, something that we were very attached to as a kid. Yeah, as a kid. Anyway, Prisoner 002 was no different. She had this cat plushie that doubled as a pillow. My sister has always been one to do the dramatic accent. I mean, she is the drama queen.
Bitch, I'm fabulous.
And it can get on my nerves sometimes, but it served her well during her escape. So, what she would do is throw her cat pillow over the gate, right? Then she'd climb on top of it and jump onto the pillow. Considering how fragile kids are supposed to be, it's a miracle that she even made it out alive. But she did. Every single time. Personally, I think that the reason she's still around is because she was using up the cat's lives every time she jumped. But that's neither here nor there. I didn't have the cat. It wasn't handed down from generation to generation or anything. Instead, I got this blanket that I loved. Even if I did have the cat, I'm too afraid of heights. Of all sorts of heights. To even attempt such a thing. I'd be too afraid to hurt my face. So, my plan needed to be cunning, silent, and not cause me any harm. I took my time to case the joint. I was in there for months after all, so I managed to figure out that there were these 2 bars that were a little loose. I think they were the 4th and 5th from the right side where my head rested, although they could also be the 3rd and 4th. I'm not sure, but that's beside the point. The point is they were loose, and my infant brain noticed this. Now, as one might do with a loose tooth, I shook them. I shook them as hard as I could until the bars came out. Finally, I had a way out. Now all I needed was a way to cover up the hole in the crib. Looking at the tools at my disposal, I decided to try the blanket. But after looking at it for a while, I decided, this is too noticeable. So after pondering for what felt like hours, but was probably just a couple seconds, I thought, why don't I put these bars back? Boom! No one would be able to tell of my great escape. It was the perfect crime. Now I could spend the rest of nap time drawing, or whatever else I wanted to do. I had this perfect plan to escape every time they thought they had put me down for a nap. But you see, eventually, they caught on and asked me,
How did you get out?
And what did I do? I just told them! Like the good child I was, I told the truth! What a fool. It hadn't even been a week and now they knew. Doesn't matter. Even the duct tape they put on the bars wouldn't stop me. Not to mention, it gave me a lot of credibility when I said I wanted to be an architect or an engineer. I mean, I figured out how to break out of this max security thing. Nothing was going to stop me now. Well, at least until when I was around 3.5, when I came home from school and Creed was gone. In its place was a brand new bed. They had stopped me from escaping ever again. But hey, at least I made it out. I know. It was the greatest toddler prison escape you've ever heard of. You know what? It deserves a reward. But what would be worthy of this daring mission? Haha! I know. For you to hit the like and subscribe button. Did you have a strategy to get out of the crib? You can let me know in the comments. But I know it wasn't better than mine. My time's coming to an end, so I'll leave you with this video, YouTube Things You'll Like.